recorded How to Be a YouTuber about 5 months ago, I didn't expect Stone Cold Game Killers to literally come true. Like, oh my gosh. For some reason, I haven't played Spider-Man since it came out initially in 2018, and I've been playing Spider-Man Remastered lately, to 100% completion, of course, and, well, I've encountered a lot of glitches, like a lot more than I really would have expected from a Sony game. You play a Sony game because you're expecting it to be, like, top-notch, high quality, extremely stable, the physics work, the engines work, there aren't that many glitches, you don't encounter a ton of hitches when playing certain things, and, for the most part, that is true. I've played God of War 3 recently, I've played The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Astrobot, Astro's Playroom, and, like, not once in any of those games have I truly encountered, like, any kind of glitch that's made me have to restart the game. The only thing that's comparable to what I've encountered in Spider-Man has been, some emulation issues with God of War 3, but again, I could just restart the game and those were fixed. And when I say emulation, I mean like there were texture problems that were clearly akin to the kinds that appear when you try to emulate certain types of like 7th generation games, like Xbox 360 games, which I found interesting that they were appearing in like an official Sony remaster. Makes me a little suspicious about how impossible PS3 emulation really is. But Marvel Spider-Man Remastered seems to have so many little small problems. It's not really a death situation. Like, the game isn't bad to play. The game isn't unfun because of the hitches and the weird bugs I keep encountering, but it feels less, I don't know, just it feels a lot less polished than most of the other Sony games, and for some reason, I just don't remember this happening in my initial playthrough of the game back in 2018, and I feel like if this was such a serious issue back then with the main game and with the 3 DLC packs, I feel like I would remember some of this better, but I really don't, and that's the strange thing. I ultimately don't understand exactly what has caused this to happen in the remaster and why I've never heard anyone talk about it. Because, Spider-Man Remastered really just kind of came and went. Honestly, I don't know how many people actually played it, because it was a, pack-in included with Miles Morales when that came out, and so a lot of people who bought a PS5 with the disc with Miles Morales included got that download code for Spider-Man Remastered and might have been like me at the time, where, I get this game, but I'm not really interested in replaying Marvel Spider-Man. I'm here for Miles Morales and then, Astro's Playroom and the new games that are coming out on the PS5. I don't really want to replay a 2-year-old PS4 game at this point. But by now, in the current day, it's been a long time since I've played it, and so I'm finally booting up Spider-Man Remastered, and I'm encountering all these glitches, I had the screwball challenges in I think the first DLC really bug out on me. I had to actually restart the game, like from scratch, quit out and stuff. And a lot of times, enemies will just get stuck in walls, things won't load properly. The game did crash twice, actually, which is, kind of crazy for a Sony game. Again, I'm not used to Sony games doing this. It's really weird. But, yeah, honestly, I don't actually have much more to say about this. This was just a quick rant, because I need to get this off my chest. This playthrough of Spider-Man has been leaving me just with a mounting frustration over time as I keep encountering more little tiny bugs and stuff. But yeah, so if you play Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, beware. Some weird shit could happen to you, and you might have a slightly less fun time than usual, I guess.